Okay, let's set the scene. Imagine mid-19th century Calcutta. There's this young man, Gadadhar, and, well, his path seems pretty clear, right? Education, become a priest, a teacher, follow the family line.
Standard stuff for the time, a respectable future all laid out.
Exactly. But then, and this is where it gets interesting, he just flat out says no. Rejects the whole plan. Why? Why do that?
That's the hook, isn't it? That initial no is so powerful, and it really opens a window into, well, his mind, but also the values of that era. So for this deep dive, we're looking at excerpts from the life of Sri Ramakrishna.
Right, to try and understand why, what was going on behind that decision.
Precisely. We want to unpack the thinking behind turning away from what seemed like such a sensible, secure path.
So the biography talks about him first going to Calcutta to help his older brother Ramkumar.
Yeah, Ramkumar ran a toll, which was, a traditional school, often religious studies, classical learning, that sort of thing. And he was also a family priest.
And Gadadhar jumps in to help, but what's really striking is how quickly people took to him.
Oh, absolutely. The text mentions he had this genuine sincerity. It wasn't just a job for him.
He wasn't just phoning it in.
Not at all.
Yeah.
The women in the families they served especially noticed how devoted he was, apparently quite different from priests they'd had before. He was diligent, honest, really engaged.
Spending hours singing devotional songs, helping out.
Right. Building actual relationships, making friends, even in some pretty respectable families, which of course meant...
But now he wasn't exactly hitting the books Ramkumar wanted him to hit.
Exactly. His focus was elsewhere.
Which brings us right back to that core question. What was so wrong with this breadwinning education, as the text calls it? Why did it fail so completely to connect with him? What was he actually after?
Well, let's look at Ramkumar's side first. Initially, he was, pretty understanding.
Gave him some slack?
Yeah. He figured Gadadhar was just getting used to the city. Big change from village life, right?
Yeah.
Probably thought, okay, he's homesick, needs time, this resistance to study will pass.
Makes sense. A period of adjustment.
But the biography says after a few months, still nothing. No interest in studies whatsoever.
And that's when the worries started to set in for Ramkumar.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Because this wasn't just like a philosophical issue. There were practicalities. It highlights the pressure, doesn't it? Even for a spiritual family, you needed to make ends meet.
For sure. The biography is pretty clear the Chatterjee family wasn't exactly rolling in it anymore. They'd seen better days.
Right. So it was actually quite important for Gadadhar to, become self-sufficient, to contribute. There was another brother, Ramswar, but apparently he wasn't really the moneymaker type either.
So the pressure was on Gadadhar.
It really underscores why Ramkumar felt the need to act. He saw Gadadhar just drifting, uninterested in school or anything worldly, really.
So he has a gentle word, tries to nudge him.
Yeah, he tries to, impress upon him the importance of buckling down, focusing on his studies, the practical side of life.
And Gadadhar's response.
Oh, it's incredible. Really remarkable for someone so young. He just comes out with it. The quote is, "Brother, what shall I do with a mere breadwinning education?"
Wow. Straight to the point.
I would rather acquire that wisdom which will illumine my heart and getting which one is satisfied forever.
Yeah.
I mean, just listen to that.
Yeah. That's profound. So clear. It really lays down the marker, doesn't it? This is where his path diverges.
Absolutely. That one sentence captures the whole conflict. But the text suggests Ramkumar didn't fully get it.
Couldn't grasp the depth of it.
Right. The biography uses the phrase, he lacked understanding of Gadadhar's inner psychology. He didn't see the deep-seated spiritual drive behind the rejection. Maybe a bit of a generational gap in perspective there.
Could be. Or just not understanding this particular individual. Because Gadadhar wasn't just rejecting education in a vacuum, was he? He was looking around Calcutta.
Exactly. He was observing. And he was.
Yeah.
Well, he was becoming pretty disillusioned with what he saw.
Yeah, the biography paints a picture of him seeing everyone just chasing transitory pleasures.
Things that don't last.
Yeah.
Name, fame, just stuff. And this relentless competition.
Like a survival of the fittest mentality taking over everything.
Right. He felt this precious human life was just being kind of wasted on superficial goals.
Did it mention specific things? Like what were these pleasures he found so empty?
It's more the general sense, I think. Material things, social climbing, sensory indulgence, anything that wasn't pointing towards something deeper, something lasting. And it wasn't just the secular world he was critiquing.
No, his critique hit religion too, didn't it?
It did. He felt like, God, spirituality, religion, they were just words people said. The real meaning, the power, it felt lost.
Even the holy books, the scriptures, treated like dusty old relics, superstitions from the past.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Not as living sources of wisdom. It's a strong viewpoint for a young man.
And he directly connected all this perceived emptiness, back to the education Ramkumar was pushing.
Yes. He saw that education as basically just a tool for achieving those very worldly things he was rejecting.
Yeah.
It was education for name and fame, for getting ahead in that world.
Not for finding the kind of wisdom he craved.
Not at all. It offered him no path towards that.
So he starts asking himself these deep questions, internally debating the value of it all.
Right, like, okay, will this schooling make me truly pious? Will it bring me closer to God? Will it make me devout, like his father was?
Will it help me actually realize God, get beyond the suffering of just being human?
And the answer, every single time.
A definite no.
An emphatic no. And that sealed it for him. He decided, okay, I'd rather be ignorant in the world's eyes than give up my ideals, than abandon this search for God.
His conviction was that strong.
Absolutely. Because for him, just securing bread and butter, as he put it, that just couldn't be the ultimate goal. It didn't solve anything fundamental.
It didn't offer the ultimate meaning or escape from, the human condition that he seemed to be looking for.
Exactly. Which leads him on this quest, doesn't it? This intense longing for a different kind of wisdom altogether.
A wisdom that could, as the book says, take him across this ocean of life and death. Such a poetic way to put it.
It is. And he looked for it, in his brother's books, among the scholars. But he didn't find it there. It was something else he needed.
Something internal, maybe?
Seems like it. And meanwhile, Ramkumar, what's his reaction to this unwavering stance?
Well, understandably, he's baffled, maybe a bit frustrated, you'd imagine.
Yeah, perplexed is a good word. He just couldn't understand rejecting what seemed like such a clear route to a decent life, a stable life.
So he tries again, tries to persuade him.
He does. He talks up the bright prospects, the easy and happy life of an educated city man, appealing to comfort, security, the usual arguments.
But Gadadhar is just not buying it.
Nope. His value system is just on a different plane. Those arguments held no weight for him.
So Ramkumar basically had to back down, for the time being anyway.
Yeah, he was forced to concede, really. You can't force that kind of inner conviction.
So an impasse of sorts.
Pretty much. And then the biography skips forward a couple of years, mentions Ramkumar's money situation actually got worse.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Seems he just kind of resigned himself to sticking with his traditional work. But then there's this little hint. It mentions an unexpected event on the horizon. Something that would give young Gadadhar fresh courage.
Setting the stage for what comes next. It suggests that his early choice, that rejection, it wasn't the end of the story. It was the start of a whole different one.
Exactly. It had real consequences. Set him on a path that maybe even he didn't fully foresee at that moment.
So, wrapping up this part of the story, this deep dive, the key thing that stands out, I think, for us listening is seeing someone so young make such a conscious choice.
Prioritizing that inner spiritual pull over everything society expected. Material security, approval, all of it.
It takes real courage, real conviction, especially back then. It really makes you stop and think about our own ideas of success, doesn't it? What a good life even means.
It absolutely does. And maybe it makes us reflect on times in our own lives, Did we ever question the path everyone else seemed to be on? Ever feel that nudge towards something deeper, something less practical?
Right. Did anything in Gadadhar's certainty resonate with you? That feeling of needing a different kind of knowledge, maybe one the world doesn't value as much?
Yeah. It leaves you with that big question, really. If just breadwinning isn't the ultimate point of it all, like Gadadhar believed.
Then what is this wisdom that satisfies forever?
And how would someone even look for that today? In our world, what forms could that true knowledge, that real fulfillment, actually take?
Something definitely worth pondering.
I hope you like this chapter. We need volunteers and sponsors to create content with even better quality and with more variety. If you wish to join this initiative as a volunteer or sponsor, please click the links given in description below. To help us reach more viewers, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to Biography Central. Thank you for your time. It means a lot. Namaste.